kinds of conversations. And again, one of the benefits, just listening here today again, of the metaverse is that people can put down their guards, take down those defense mechanisms, and have a real conversation with one another about culture, about topics that may be difficult to talk about in person. And it lessens the impact of power, privilege, and oppression. And listening today, too, about the culture of work, Tammy had brought up a great point, and I think, Gentle, you may build on this, too, is the idea of access that is so critical when we talk about marginalized groups and multiculturalism and diversity, is creating access not only to resources, but access to conversations as well, such as the one we're having today. And when we look at the world of work, work is such a significant part and fundamental in the construction of a person's identity. And so it can provide, those answers to existential questions of life's purpose. And so creating an environment where people have greater access to the world of work, where they can really create their own identity and start to create their own social systems. And so we often talk about, when we're talking about multiculturalism, we talk about leveling the playing field or getting on the same page. And what something like the metaverse offers is that we can create our new paradigms for discussions of multiculturalism and start to create new identities, again, lessening the impact of power, privilege, and oppression.
Thank you very much. And we will talk to Gentle Heron about that in a minute. I just wanted to see if Tammy or Jeff wants to jump in on whether Manpower is going to start providing us with answers to existential questions. I'm just kidding.
Existential phenomenology was one of my favorite courses in university. So
feel free to expound. We've got you on the phone. If you'd like to address the existential questions of life, I think it would make a great soundbite. But
I do want to jump in on.
Go ahead.
There is a certain element of existentiality when you look at what do companies like Manpower do when we live in so many different worlds? There's the world that's happening in our office of 4,500 offices. There's the world that's happening on the web. There's the world that's happening in the true virtual worlds. And companies like ours cannot view those as separate circles. They must be Venn diagrams that overlap one another. Because as our people move from virtual worlds to real worlds and different types of virtual worlds, that whole notion of the experience must have that red thread that follows through it. And if not, what happens is companies like ours look confused and out of control, and our internal population actually ends up warring against one another. And our commitment has always been that this is all the same strategy, which is the umbrella Manpower experience, whether it be what we do in CSR, in a virtual world or a real world, what we do in training or finding work or working with clients. So that whole, a being of outside yourself must also be true to who you are in yourself and all of those worlds connected. Because when you do that, now all of a sudden you are completely leapfrogging how others are working in these different worlds. And that's kind of how we view it.
Jeff, I am always impressed when people are willing to address existential questions spontaneously on the record. So thank you for that.
All right.
And we have Gentle Heron. One of Manpower's goals is to broaden opportunities for people with various disabilities in the global talent pool who might not otherwise be able to work before the flexibility offered by the Internet became available. Virtual worlds offer a particularly rich opportunity for such individuals. Can you tell us a bit about the Heron Sanctuary and the unique nature of virtual work opportunities?
Certainly, Eureka, and thank you. I would like to introduce myself as a person with a disability. I have part-time online employment because of accommodations through my employer. Two friends and I founded the Heron Sanctuary in Second Life about a year ago as a community of support for people with disabilities of all kinds. From the Heron Sanctuary project grew a corporation, Virtual Ability, Inc. We are a 501c3, and we direct several related projects in Second Life. In August, our Virtual Ability group, along with the Alliance Library System in Second Life, will open an orientation facility that is disability-friendly on our own Virtual Ability Island. Here we will expand our work to bring many more people with disabilities into Second Life. Did you know that people with disabilities are the largest minority group in the world? Nearly 1 out of every 5 Americans has a disability, according to the 2000 census. People with disabilities are also the least well-educated, the poorest, and the least likely to be employed of all minority groups in the United States. This isn't because we don't want to or we can't work. Over 70% of unemployed Americans with disabilities want to work, yet our unemployment rate continues to rise. Nor are we too difficult to accommodate in the workplace, as is sometimes thought. A recent survey showed that for 73% of businesses, their employees with disabilities required no additional accommodations. For many of us who live with disabilities, virtual worlds offer opportunities not available to us in our real lives. Some of the published research on the benefits of participating in virtual reality for people with different kinds of disabilities is summarized on our website at www.virtualability.org. Some of the reasons for the difficulties faced by people with disabilities in obtaining jobs include limited mobility, reduced physical capabilities and energy, and inadequate access to education and work opportunities. Hendricks spoke of the importance of access. Virtual reality can help us overcome some of the physical and social limitations of our disabilities. Online environments allow us to learn and communicate remotely, to gain new skills, visualize on-site workplaces to determine their accessibility, and perform many job tasks that do not require physical access, dexterity, or strength. If anyone would like more information about people with disabilities and employment, or about assisting people with disabilities to function well in Second Life, you're welcome to contact me. I'd like to thank Manpower's continuing support of employment for people with disabilities and offer special thanks to Kathy Gibbs for her design help on the accessible room demonstration here at Manpower. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I was just going to mention Kathy Gibbs as well. Gentle Heron was a consultant to Torin Colt and Micheline Baudet, who built this immersive environment for us. And there are other rooms in this venue as well, including a room. We'll show you a piece of Machinima to conclude the day, but just so you know, it's a room that demonstrates how workplaces can be made more accessible to people with various disabilities. And we really appreciate that, Gentle, and we really appreciate Kathy Gibbs' work and Torin and Micheline's work as well. So thank you so much. I have a question for Dan Darrow, and it has to do with the title of this event, which is Power of Collaboration. And that's also the title of the report that was published here for everyone to read about the event and about Manpower's work. And we have links that we will share with you. You can get the report at manpower.com. You can get it at eurekadejavu.com. Metanomics has dispensers at their Sims now, and we will make sure anyone who wants a copy of that report gets it. So Dan, I just want to tie back to that and talk about how this event in itself has been a global team, and we've been working together pretty much around the clock to make this happen. And I'd love to just conclude with some comments